I heard footsteps. It was a regular heel tap, soft but firm, of a man. I turned around to look behind me, but I was at the opera, and there was no way there was going to be any shoe footsteps echoing on the carpeted floor. Neither did the music and the songs of the habanera aria from Carmen leave much room to listen to something other than the music. Although I had clearly heard them, I was sure. After looking around and seeing that there was indeed no one chasing me, I turned my attention back to the play taking place on the stage. I looked sideways at my husband, who, lover as he was of the opera, continued with his attention far from me. The melodious and sweet voice of the soprano distracted me once more, and I let myself be carried away once again by the story, the scenery, the music, and the privileged voices that made their operatic act. Until I realized that I was running down a gloomy and dark alley. What am I doing here? I asked myself, with my heart pounding and my breathing shallow. But it was not the best time to question myself. It was clear that my life was in danger, and I had to get out of there. The high heels I'd chosen to wear to the opera made my escape clumsy and slow, even dangerous. Instead, the click of men's shoes indicated that the man in question was getting closer to me. This must be a nightmare, I said to myself. I'm at the opera listening to an extraordinary... No, you're not at any opera. Who said that? Who said what? Asked my husband with surprised and reproachful eyes. Darling, don't talk so loud. You're going to get us kicked out of here. I heaved a big sigh when I saw that I was actually in the opera box watching Bizet's play. However, I could still feel my heart beating wildly under my evening dress. I thought I had been delusional and decided not to dwell on it too much. I had to focus on what I had come here to do, one of my favorite artistic activities. But there wasn't much time for it, because I felt a warm and sticky liquid drip down my abdomen while I was still trying to get away from my assailant in that smelly, dirty and dark alley. How did I get here? A question that at this point did not matter. I squeezed hard the red wound hidden by the dress of the same color, and I looked at my bloody hands. It made me almost want to laugh. This doesn't make any sense, I yelled. I'm at the opera watching a Bizet play. What's wrong with you, for God's sake? My husband asked me, really furious. What are these screams for? The entire auditorium turned to look at me. Even the orchestra director had been forced to leave his musicians in suspense. I felt myself flush with embarrassment. How ridiculous, I thought, to blush when dying. But I am in La Scala in Milan, I said to myself, watching an extraordinary production next to my husband, but... I looked carefully down the dark alley. I know it, I said to myself. It's in the neighborhood where I lived for so many years, back in my hometown. Suddenly, I felt weak, so weak, and as if the light was being turned off, little by little. The alley had already completely vanished. The male footsteps no longer resonated in my ears. And yet, I was lying stretched out on the floor of the box at La Scala in Milan, with a stab wound to my stomach, and the life that was slipping away from me through the wound. Meanwhile, my husband, to one side of me, looked at me completely perplexed. And there, in my hometown, 10,262 kilometers away, a couple of police officers found a large pool of blood on the floor of an alley and a dagger without a victim.